मेरा phone और charger दे दो.
Hello and welcome to the special broadcast. A lot is happening in the Punjab Congress right now. Looks like that the top brass of the Congress party and Harish Rawat, who was appointed in many ways to solve the stalemate within the party, has come up with some sort of a solution. And one of the key possibilities is that Navjot Singh Sidhu could be the next Punjab Congress chief. Is that a possibility? Is that something really happening? Pallavi is with us on the broadcast. Pallavi knows the pulse of the Congress party and what is happening within the grand old party. Pallavi, your 2 cents about the situation. How likely is it that Navjot Singh Sidhu will get this coveted position ahead of the assembly elections?
Well, Anusha, I mean, I've been covering the Congress for years, and this much I can tell you, it's very difficult to guess what they're even thinking. They keep changing their mind. They take a long time in deciding. But what I'm picking up by way of sources is that this is certainly one proposal. The Gandhi siblings are certainly pushing for it, Anusha. I mean, we know this for a fact that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra thinks that Sidhu is the man. So one proposal is something which Harish Rawat is taking to Rahul Gandhi, and we can expect the decision anytime or very soon, is that you make him the state president. But since he's also a Sikh like Captain Amarinder, we need to
Yeah.
have to balance the caste. So therefore, why not have one or two more working presidents who belong to, say, the Dalit community or they are Hindus? But as I said, this is a proposal which has gone in, and we can expect that kind of an official word coming in soon. That's the reason why I'm keeping on checking on my phone also, Anusha. But, it's not going to be easy. It's going to create more trouble.
Yeah.
There are two reasons here. There have been Punjab MLAs, yes, who have actually gone to a 3-member poll panel. They have given a feedback, and even those who are against the captain are not necessarily in favor of Sidhu, because Sidhu joined the Congress in 2018. He's been seen as a
Yeah.
turncoat. Those who've been around before that say, why should he be given a chance? What have we been doing? So it's going to, if the purpose of the Congress leadership is to actually settle the problem, I don't think it's going to be settled immediately. It's actually likely to give rise to more problem, and then it'll be interesting to see what the captain does, because the captain has been very vocal about the fact, I cannot work with Sidhu. Will he step down?
Right.
That will be hugely embarrassing for the leadership. Or will
Yeah.
they go up with another proposal that you make him the campaign committee chairperson, we don't announce a CM, so you let everyone live in hope?
Let everyone live in hope. I'm full of questions, Pallavi, as you're telling all these developments. Navjot Singh Sidhu is an ambitious man. He has made no bones about the fact that he's ambitious. He wants a political future. Many rumors about him joining the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's take this scenario where you say there is multiplicity of power poles. You don't have one Punjab Congress president, but more faces who can be touted as coordinating for the party for the upcoming elections. Is that even something that will be acceptable to Sidhu? Will he not look at other political options?
Well, can he go back to the BJP? No. Can he go back to Akalis? No, because he's positioning himself as someone who's not soft on Akalis, whereas his insinuation always has been the captain has been soft on Akalis. Now, with the
Yeah.
Aam Aadmi Party, recently there was a lot of flutter. Of course, it was made in sarcasm. He had negotiated with the AAP, but he had also said that I want to become the CM face, and AAP had not agreed to that. We should also never forget the Arvind Kejriwal factor. It's a party which is controlled by him and Manish Sisodia to a certain extent. Will Arvind Kejriwal actually accept Sidhu's dictatorial style that, okay, you make me the CM face? That also becomes a little difficult. What are the options before Sidhu? Yes, his ambitions. He doesn't want to become a minister again because he's been a minister and you've been there a couple of months. Deputy CM is also
Yeah.
something he said no to. Ideal situation is what he wants is to become the face of the party in the state. See, I have followed him in the last Punjab elections. He gathers huge crowds. There's no doubt about that. Doesn't always translate into votes. It didn't work. He's a star campaigner for other state elections as well as in Bihar. But wherever he campaigned in Bihar, the party candidate hasn't won. And this is something which goes against Sidhu. But then they say politicians or leaders are often blind. And Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is very, very supportive of Sidhu. It's very rare that she gives a photo opportunity, and she gave one, which again has not gone down very well in Punjab Congress. So Sidhu certainly would want his pound of flesh, that if you want to make me a campaign committee chairperson, but then also make that commitment to me that if the Congress wins, then I become the CM.
So, Pallavi, let me talk about another tall figure in the Punjab Congress, Captain Amarinder Singh. Holding the fort for the Congress party, the sitting chief minister led the state through a pandemic, enjoys a good rapport across all party lines. Why is it that there is a broader sense that somewhere the Gandhi siblings prefer Sidhu over Amarinder Singh? Is that the correct sense, or it is perhaps misplaced somewhere?
See, Sidhu joined the Congress party, this was in 2018, and
Hmm.
interestingly, it was Prashant Kishore also who was instrumental in getting Sidhu to join the Congress party. The
Hmm.
Gandhis, particularly Rahul Gandhi, they were very impressed by Sidhu because he was a popular talk show host, former cricketer. So they felt a lot of young people in Punjab would actually be attracted to the Congress party because of Sidhu. So they worked for some time. He was made a minister. The captain worked with him. But both
Hmm.
of them are in a sense megalomaniacs. Both of them are very stubborn. They're very similar to each other. So one can understand why they can't work together. So it was complete mayhem. Sidhu went open, captain went open. Then I think around 2 months back, Rahul Gandhi had a
Hmm.
closed door meeting with the captain and Sidhu saying, I want Sidhu to be on board. So there was this famous photo of both of them are sitting together, captain and Sidhu, on a flight. That flight could
Yeah.
not take off for long. It just crash landed in a sense because it was very open, Anusha. They just couldn't get along. And they have been very
Yeah.
open about it. And Sidhu certainly has been very, very critical of the captain. The captain has made the point that, look, I am being reticent. I am not making any public statements. But this is something which is completely unacceptable. Captain remains the big face, yes, but he's also becoming increasingly unpopular among the MLAs, among the voters. This perception is building up. One, you're not building, following the poll promises. The power issue is going to become a big issue. It is. And the second is this perception, which even Sidhu is kind of provoking and building up, is he soft on Badals? There is an anger
Hmm.
among the voters with the Badals. They feel, that Kotkapura firing case, something they've not been able
Hmm.
to forgive. So they want action to be taken against him. And the more Sidhu and all of them keep on stressing on that, the doubt starts coming in the mind of people that are they right? Is the captain soft on the Badals? And therefore, that's where the unpopularity of the captain is coming in. But I have watched captain
Yeah.
very carefully. He has a very Maharaja style of campaigning. But when he gets down, he takes out his Latmar and the Gadda and all of those things, and he starts campaigning, the crowd does get attracted to him. So I think he's pitching for that.
Pallavi, the third aspect I want to touch upon is the Congress style of solving these disputes. And you would know it better than anyone else, whether it's Rajasthan, the state of Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, these internal rivalries or different leaders wanting to be the chief minister is one of the key problem of the Congress party. One of the things that they've done is procrastinate the solution. Don't really take the tough decision. Let the situation linger on. Maybe it will solve on its own. That didn't happen with Jyotiraditya Scindia. The situation with Sachin Pilot went south. It was a difficult one. Have they figured out a way to solve these problems?
No, and the past catches up. So it's typical Congress style. I'm not going to take a decision and therefore buy peace. They did that in Chhattisgarh. They actually promised Baghel, a TSDO, that let's do a rotation. Now they are not able to take a call on that. In Ashok Gehlot's case, they said, okay, Sachin Pilot is a PCC chief. He doesn't have that kind of support among the MLAs. He's still young. He still has chance. But at a later stage, we are going to make him. Even when he
Hmm.
rebelled, there was his commitment made to him. Again, no decision has been taken on that.
Hmm.
The same story in Haryana, the same story in Chhattisgarh, Punjab, everywhere. I think when Punjab, Rajasthan, we start talking about them, Anusha, more than the trouble within the state, I think it just throws up one fact that you have a top leadership who is extremely weak. They cannot make decisions, and therefore, they don't have a grip over the situation. And we are just a
Hmm.
couple of months away from elections. It doesn't look good. I mean, the captain certainly looks visibly weakened. And if indeed
Hmm.
Sidhu is made the Congress president in the state, is just going to make the captain look weaker. Even if he decides to stay
Hmm.
on as the CM, it's still going to make the captain look much, much weaker. It makes the top leadership, the Gandhi leadership, I would say, much weak. I mean, they have a meeting almost every day, but no decision is taken.
Yeah. Pallavi, another factor I want to talk to you about, and maybe it may not be, relevant immediately, but may have a bearing, the Prashant Kishore factor. Interestingly, there were reports about him advising Captain Amarinder Singh. He recently had a meeting with the Gandhi siblings as well. Prashant Kishore, in the political rumor mill, has also been trying to stitch up some sort of an alliance for the opposition parties. In all of this mess, is there an advice going from Prashant Kishore to the Congress party, to the Gandhi siblings, or Captain Amarinder Singh?
See, Prashant Kishore, we know, is an advisor to the Captain Amarinder Singh. Prashant Kishore is very interesting because, it was, I remember when the UP elections were there, and after that, he had given an interview where he had said that, I can never do business with the Congress party because they're just too stubborn and arrogant. They don't even bother to listen. And, it's not just one Congress. Actually, Anusha, there are many Congresses within the Congress party, and each leader thinks that, I'm the Lord unto myself, I'm the party unto myself. So, for them to listen to an outsider, a political strategist, it's very difficult. Very often they don't even listen to the Gandhi, so you can imagine whether they're going to listen to Prashant Kishore. But the fact that he's entering
Hmm.
Rahul Gandhi's residence after a bitter parting and Sonia Gandhi joins that meeting is very, very significant. Well, on record, they're all saying that a Punjab issue was not discussed, but my sources told me close to Prashant Kishore that it was touched upon, and that was actually taken
Yeah.
off as a peg that what is going wrong with the party. See, it's a desperate
Pallavi,
time
my
for the
last
Congress.
question to you. If you were to tell our viewers to understand really what is happening, what are the three crucial things to watch out for in the next 24 hours?
Organizational reshuffle. Kamal Nath is meeting Sonia Gandhi. Is he going to play an important role? Will they come out with some big bang changes in the organization immediately? Second is what I'm really going to watch out for is Punjab. Will Sidhu actually be appointed as the Congress president in the state? And what are they going to do with Rajasthan? That's also going to be an important issue.
All right, Pallavi, you have a busy day ahead. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. So, lots happening within the Punjab Congress Party. And yes, we'll keep you up to date with all the developments which are happening here. Thank you so much for watching this site. And going forward, let's see whether the Congress Party is able to find a solution to this internal infighting. Multiplicity of power poles that didn't really work well for the Congress Party, even during the UP era. Will it work now? It's a wait and watch. Interesting developments ahead of the assembly elections. Thank you for watching.